because this was something that was muddy waters for me. And I'm going to begin this call with a metaphor. And I love to quote my mentor and coach, who is retired now. He wrote a lot of books. Steve Chandler, he was the participant of The Prosperous Coach, the book that really took it all away from me, where I began to recognize what is it, what is service. I realized that that modality was proven to work for him and very many coaches that he had coached and worked with. It was a system of connect, invite, coach, propose that was proven to work and proven to bring six figures or however many figures you want in the prosperous coaching practice that you are having. So, and Steve, I remember at that time shared this metaphor with me and the others on the call. And it was simply about this because all of us were struggling with invitations. And guys, this is the second topic, and I throw these coaching calls once a month. So on in March, and I will announce the date in March, our third topic would be coach. What are some of the things that we are seeing that are not working? What are the coaching questions or something that isn't working in our conversations with our clients, and we will talk about that in March. And guys, I highly recommend you sign up to the Facebook group, and I will share it later. So you would be able to watch. If you have missed these calls, you will be able to watch because the first one, the top on the topic of connections, is available on the Facebook group. So back to the metaphor that Steve has shared with us, and it was simply about this. He goes, and Steve has been coaching for 3 decades. He goes, in my very many years of coaching, he goes, I developed this metaphor. He goes, it is basically about me showing up to an island. And let's call this island, an island is a world. And that island was thirsty, didn't have the water. And I was showing up with as many bottles of water as I could share with anyone and everyone. And my job would be just walk around from door to door offering water. I wasn't curious about, whether they want anything else. My question, in whichever shape or form, methodical or not, was to ask each and every person, do you want water? And if they said yes, great, I'd offer them the water. And if they said no, I'd walk away not meaning anything about me and getting all into my psyche. Well, did I deliver enough? Did I ask the right way or the wrong way? My way was to just simply offer the water, to kill that thirst. And that was it. And guys, this is service. This is service. When you begin to or continue, because I don't know where on the path you currently are, and we have a chance to find out today. On the path of service, if you really get open and willing to learn that this coaching um, thing works through the service, through the relationship and the growing of relationship with the clients and treading slowly, that is when you will see that when I'm coming from non attachment, not needing to give them something other than water, just simply offer them the water to kill that thirst. And if they want more, we could talk about that. So, and I remember that took me years to understand what did it mean to come from no place of attachment when I invite people to conversations. And those could be one, two conversations. However many you want to offer to that person of a service to begin to see, are they creating any shifts? Any insights? Is this something that is really interesting to them? Because I could offer one, two, maybe three conversations, and there's no real system behind this. How many, conversations? You go as you want. You tread as slowly, and depending on, how full your practice is. Because if your practice at the moment, you're noticing isn't full or half full, well, yeah, you'll be out there offering those conversations and continuing those conversations with prospects, and then seeing if they would like to invest into a possibility, never affordability. Why? I don't want to know your money story. Because what you guys are also probably learning right now, or have seen, or maybe will learn, that you could have a conversation with your prospect and you could offer whatever your fees are and packages. And they, at this moment, they may say no to it. And then a few weeks later, you see them taking off to Hawaii or buying an 85 screen TV, inch screen TV, and you're kind of sitting there thinking, my fees were lesser than that. It means nothing about you. The only thing it means that for whatever reason, that client wasn't ready yet. And that is another distinction that we will learn, that no lives in the land of yes. Sorry, yes lives in the land of no. I remember when uh, uh, after my second marriage, I began looking into, I was a housewife. I was a mother. I was a stay-home mom. And I remember everybody would tell me, well, Irina, you should go out there. You're, a gorgeous, tall girl. You should be a model. And because I really didn't know what else to do, I figured, well, since I have to provide and feed and put, food on the table for myself and my son, why don't I get a chance to see what's available for me in this modeling industry? And back then in Toronto, I saw that there were 7 legit agencies, and I began going to their open calls. I went to 6, and at each and every one, I was told, you're too old, you're too tall, you're too young, you're too this, you're too that, your bangs are low, your chin is anything, but the answer was no. And I remember the 7th, there was still one more that I didn't go to. And at that point, I'm so, I'm at the point where, they're gonna tell me the same thing all over again. I'm really defeated, deflated. I don't want to go. And thanks God for people in our lives, the supporting kind, the ones that really want to see you succeed. And that is something that we will also talk about, guys, because this coaching journey is never solitary. It's a team. And it was my sister who pushed me at that moment. And she goes, you can't quit now. She goes, let's go. Yeah, you'll get another no. At least you'll know. And wouldn't you know it? I show up to this amazing call and I get hired right on the spot. And for the next 5 years, I worked on a shopping channel, on Canadian shopping channel, and I loved it. And I was able to be a model and all the rest of it. So the point of the story, guys, that yes lives in the land of no. And sometimes, yeah, you may go through 10 prospects, 15, 5, 2, to finally get to a yes. And I could also tell you that those no's, those are never the no's. Those are not yet. And if we continue relationship with these people and continue to serving and thinking of them every now and then, we may get to one day them being open to having that other conversation. Because guys, coaching and people not wanting coaching, I don't see anybody running around wanting coaching. People want to solve one thing in their life, create a difference in their life. And if we could do that for our clients, that's it. Because where I used to be, I used to run around selling people coaching, and that didn't work. So Guys, I've blubbered on for now 12 minutes. I've noticed that we have feel free to connect if interested. Happy. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is great. Irina, can you clarify what you mean by yes lives in the land of no? Never mind, you just okay. Guys, now we're here all together. We're here to see what works and what doesn't work in your invitations. What have you tried? What are you still seeing that you want to learn about? So this is the time that you could ask questions and we could go discussing a little more what is happening on your coaching path. And by the way, guys, I'm so honored that you took your time because this is staying on the path. You being active and proactive in these conversations is staying on the path, is deepening your knowledge about coaching and about creating clients. And Jeff, I see you. Are you ready to ask a question or comment?
Uh, well, let's see. No, this is one of the things, and I've said this to you before, that the reason I'm so drawn to this approach is because of its authenticity. It's nothing, it's not about being a slick salesperson or trying to build get a client on um, a foundation that's just about what can I get out of that person, because that is not who I am, and it would never work for me. I would never be able to sustain or do that or have my heart in that. But what I like, and I have seen, thank you for posting the Connect video, so that was so I think I have 10 minutes left in that. But just the idea of being able to be real for people, because I think we're living in a world where people desperately need to to feel seen and heard and acknowledged and listened to, and everybody's got their stuff. And not everybody, I think, is going to have stuff that they're going to want to be in a coaching relationship.
Yeah.
Or maybe eventually they will, when they all of a sudden realize here's this woman or here's this guy who is just so caring and so patient and also honest and talks about it. You were talking about your life and your divorces and all that stuff. And that's a very not everybody would do that. Not everybody would open up and give of themselves, but it's disarming and it makes people, I believe, that approach realize that they're dealing with a real person who's not just going to listen, but who's going to share.
Mhm.
And that builds the trust and opens the door to a next step, to something more. And
Possibility.
yeah, some people will choose not to, but many might say, wow, Irina, I really enjoy talking to her and I think she can help me,
Mm.
you know. So
Thank you, Jeff. Was there and thank you for acknowledging because you are absolutely right. I am, and I wasn't until 5 years ago because prior to it, I've done many programs. You see, I was the kind of coach that thought the only reason I'm not having clients is because I don't have enough information. And I went and thanks God I had, all the money from what have you, right? And I had these possibilities to be in Rich Litvin's program, to be in Michael Neal's program, to be in Byron Katie's. And I was running around getting programs here and there, thinking, now it's going to happen for me now. Until finally, and I remember that moment, guys, for me. I was having, one on, one off clients here and there, and I was getting frustrated. I was getting frustrated with the fact that I, I was getting bored. So we're talking about the same thing, and it felt like they weren't moving the needle. It felt like that progress, that shift that they wanted to occur did not occur for any one of them, and neither for me. And I recognized that there was something missing. There was something missing. And then I went and at that point, as I told you, I was in the programs with 20, 40 people. I was there, in the backgrounds, not really coming out. And just like Jeff shared, being vulnerable. Vulnerability was something that was not, it was a weakness. I thought it was a weakness. I thought it was something that, no, who needs to know my dirty laundry and my story? And I'm better than that. I'm gonna keep it tight, safely tucked away in my closet. Until I stepped into this program, and it was a service game that I remember when I read a description, it said there's going to be three coaches and a coach, and we were gonna run that game, and we were gonna not build our coaching practice without fear. We were going to build it with fear intact, but we were going to be committed, and we were going to show up and openly and honestly talk about our failures, where we were not making shifts and insights. Because if I don't see it in my clients, something isn't happening over here, because now I want to walk the talk. I want to walk the talk instead of information and overloading on information. I needed transformation. And that you see in small groups of people being open to work together, of people being open to being vulnerable, quite frankly, to bringing in, what is occur, what are they seeing, what are they up against, and guys, it is mostly our stories. It is. I remember first signing up for the service game and seeing that, oh, sorry, I can't invite people into conversations because I'm an immigrant. I'm, I was born in Moldova, the one of the republics of Russia. I don't speak English that well. That is the reason people are not signing up with me. Was it true? None of it. None of it was true. Because I could deliver a sentence, a thought, and that is what, guys, we're going to on this call openly discuss. And Jeff, was there a question like how are you doing in your invites? What are you seeing? What are you noticing? In your invitations, in your
Right. Well, I am a very new coach. So I actually haven't even gotten to that place. I have one non-paying client, which is great. That was a friend of a friend who was referred to me. But I've been knowing that this piece of the practice, it's great to get the certification. It's great to build a website. It's great to have all those pieces in place. But now it's been trying to find a process and a methodology other than the ones that I'm seeing every minute of the day online about, sign up with me and you'll have 10,000 clients by next Wednesday and all this ridiculous stuff. And that's why when I kind of learned about, you know, the prosperous coach, Steve Chandler, met you, realizing that there's something really significant in here that at least maybe the approach doesn't work for everybody. But so I have not actually gone down that road of trying yet. Coaching is not my full-time thing, so I'm able to take my time, slow down, and really understand what is the path that is going to be right for me to build my client base. So I don't really have any examples to say of what I've tried or not tried.
and would you like to try, Jeff? Because
I'm
as a
sorry?
would you like to try? Because you see,
Oh, of course.
connecting with somebody is available. And like I told you, offering a bottle of water. without even thinking, well, is he or she is going to become my client? I'll share with you recently, I'm talking to my coach and I'm sharing with her, well, Melissa, I'm I'm beginning to create a program for 5 single men and 5 single women, and I'm going to take them on this weekly journey to Costa Rica. And I'm figuring this out so we could, create relationship, because that is something separately from, the coaching and coaching coaches that I do, because I'm fascinated with relationships, and especially relationships with others and ourselves. And that is what you're going to see throughout your coaching career. It's all based on that. My relationship, our relationships with our clients, our relationships, parents, children, siblings, partners, what have you. And she stops me right there for a second and she goes, Irina, that is all beautiful and great. She goes, but why can you not take a couple and create something right here, right now?
Mhm.
And I went, oh, and I felt a lot of resistance. And one of them was fear. Can I do it? And that is most of the time what stops us from, and then I sat with that and I go, yeah, I don't have to wait for Costa Rica for January or December. I could begin to get curious. Hey, what is one, can I do it with one couple? Can I do it here without, renting things up? And this is what, Jeff, I'm offering to you as an experiment. Weekend is coming. Today's Friday, social nights and everything. What if I, Jeff, or I, Irina, because I am going to a social outing today, what if I show up to that outing with an ear open to listen for people sharing their problems? Because, guys, I'm telling you, at every barbecue, at every social event, you will hear a person sharing something about their children that isn't working, them losing a job and being completely stuck on finding out what is next for them. Somebody's partner is acting out in a way that they don't like it. Uh, a woman, just recently, I went to a social gathering where a woman was beside herself because her mother has just recently been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and she doesn't know what to do with it, and because it has been such a fast thing, and she goes, I'm so not ready for
Yeah.
it. And I immediately offered support. Hey, do you want to talk about it? Because, guys, and I don't know what created this epidemic of loneliness, whether it was COVID, whether it's the social media, but guys, we are living in the epidemic of loneliness where a person, if each and every one of us and a neighbor next door could really use that half an hour, that hour of complete compassion, support, and empathy for whatever that person is going through. And if in the middle of that conversation, there could be a shift towards a new possibility for them, an insight, great. And if they want a second conversation, yeah, let's put one in. This is what I typically do. I offer 1, 2 conversations for clients. And if you, at the end of the day, if you don't want to continue, I'm glad I met you. I'm glad I had a chance to build another relationship. And when you come from this place, not needing, no strings attached, people begin to trust. People begin to see that it's not about a quick buck for you, or your account surplus and you're filling in, or anything like that. So, so I see your hand. I'm gonna get to you right away. I'm just gonna ask. Oh, thank you guys. I'm just gonna ask. Oh, let me see. Who? Okay. Guys, Jeff, what landed before I get to Sriracha's question?
Well, it's being willing to be open to others, really tuned in to others, listening carefully. And I actually, I was a big Dale Carnegie guy. I had gone through that whole training. I was a graduate assistant and all that stuff, and it changed my life because I was a super, super shy kid, like painfully shy. And so I learned the art of being absolutely curious about other people and asking them about themselves, not in a manipulative way, but in a genuinely curious way. And people love to talk about themselves. And in doing so, it's very easy for people to open up about stuff. Um, what I had never, and now that I'm moving into a coaching space, and I know I've, like many people, it's like, oh, people always open up to me. They always tell me their stuff. Now that I'm a coach, it's how to harness that and potentially move them into a coaching relationship without scaring them away or being like somebody's annoying neighbor who just won't go away, and they're just on you, and it sends people running the other way. So genuineness, genuinely listening to people and having that real conversation with people in a world where, like guys, all they talk about is the game or the stock market or the whatever. And when I can have a conversation about that they enter into, they initiate, not me, like I'm trying to pry into their lives, they're opening up to me.
That's it.
It's how do I ride that wave and maintain that um um what do I say, that just maintain that energy and build on it.
That's it. You got it, Jeff. You got it. And it's not being afraid to test it out and try. Sriracha, you have been, and I'm not sure if I'm butchering the pronunciation of your name. Please correct me if I am, and I apologize if I have.
No, you're fine. And I think there is not a big deal in pronunciation of name. That is what I believe. So you're fine. My name is Suruchi,
Suru.
and Suruchi. It's as it is spelled here on Zoom. But I'm okay. As I mentioned, it's not a big deal for me. So I have a couple questions because I joined this meeting only like first time. As Jeff mentioned, I'm entering new as a coach into agile agile space, into agility. What I'm hearing from you is general professional coach or coaching. So there are few steps I have intentionally taken because I am a professional scrum master. I have pretty good wealth of knowledge and experience in scrum master role. I have done a lot of coaching under the title of scrum master, like coaching all the team members on specific area of scrum frameworks, agility. Now I don't know, I felt couple months ago, I felt a need of expanding my coaching abilities because I already started going to different meetups. I started sharing my advices, thoughts. People tend to came back to me. Okay, Suruchi, we like this idea. Would you like to expand on that? I just started meeting with them in one-on-ones, in fluency. I did not request for that. Then I identified myself. I can do that. I can coach. I can help them or guide them. And now I have started recently a new coaching program, which is Agile and Scrum Admirers. It's a free coaching program, by the way. I'm not expecting any benefit, monetary benefit out of it. I have few clients, 6 to 7 clients I have right now, in addition to what I need to do for my living. But then the reason I'm joining this meeting is how how you can build that rapport for long duration, and then how I can convert these profession into a paid profession, because right now I'm still growing up there. I have vision to spend and provide the services for free now, at least for a few months, maybe year also. I'm okay with that because it's a knowledge. I'm not investing too much into that. All is I'm investing is my knowledge that I gained from my certification experience and time. and building rapport. Those clients are approaching to me, so I'm not doing any efforts, any single effort to attract them. I just try to be myself in other meetings, which are really broad meetings, and share my thoughts. So now the question that I'm heading to is, as you said, how to get the clients, and now for the next step, how I can create a monetary resource for them. I don't know, Irina, the coaching that you are talking about, and Jeff, are you getting monetary returns from that coaching, or you are doing that for free? Because in future, I'm looking for gaining monetary gain out of that and run it as a business. Because see, in this all you can say, oh, market is not well. You don't know when organizations will lose the budget of your position. It is it, it is a requirement to have your own something which you are expert in, you are confident in, and you can run your own business. That's why I'm here, to learn from you guys your experiences and then go from there.
Suruchi, great. I want to say that, wow, welcome. Look how much you have already done. You actually have created the followers. You have created the people who you are already supporting. Now, the question is, how long do I want to do it without being paid? Because um, when I began, and by the way, I do run a professional business where I am being paid as a professional coach. So I have a proven system that works, that brings me an income. And one thing that I could say, Suruchi, in your next, like, if you could share the common denominator for all the people who are joining your calls, what are they looking to solve, to benefit from? Like, what is it for them?
They are looking for getting into scrum master role, because I'm seasoned scrum master. I know in and out. I can support them when they are getting pissed off at their work situation. Some of them are new in that role, some of them are trying to get the new role. So when the clients that are already in the new role, they just share all the experience. Suruchi, this is what happened, this is what he behaved, and then as a scrum master, how can I help him and still keep up with the job, all those things. So I help them passively, like offline, and then they implement that, and then they try to gain success there. So this is how basically I try to hold them accountable for being successful by following my guidance, and that is working really well. I mean, the two to three clients immediately updated me in the next meeting. Suruchi, I applied this, I got the results. So I'm trying to indirectly support their career to keep up, and they don't have experience. Basically, I'm sharing my experience to work on.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now you're clearly seeing how people are benefiting from you being in their life. Now, you could definitely, if that is what you wish, you could definitely go on and do it without being paid. And if this is just, something that you offer into the world, great. I could share with you how I do it. Because as for me and for my own experiences in life, I've decided that if I want to make an income from a business that I run, a profitable income, um, a sustainable income, I would slow down and ask myself how many sessions, clients, especially looking at my calendar, I could offer into the world at no cost. So then I could be out there serving people, meeting new people, and seeing if I could be an influence in their life a little further by inviting them into one or two conversations, not in the group, but personally, setting aside that time. Because I could tell you right now, each and every year, I commit to working with two clients with this beautiful company, Up with Women, because I used to struggle when I became a single mother. And that company, Up with Women, really helped me. They supported me. They gave me learnings, the money, the support that I needed to move myself from being don't know who to actually being today a professional working coach, an entrepreneur, earning the money and supporting myself and my son as well. So I've decided, I slowed down and I said, okay, I have time in my calendar for 2 volunteer conversations bi-weekly for coaches that come from Up With Women. I also decided that in order to keep my service into the world and being a coach that offers that, I would do this. I would do 1 monthly session for coaches, for people who are struggling in relationships. And if you notice through meetups, I do that. Those are for free. But then I ask myself, what is my end result? What do I want my end result to be? Through these free conversations or no cost webinar or workshops. And my answer to myself is I want to create new relationships. Now, that doesn't mean that these people on the call will want to continue talking to me. It doesn't matter. I have an opportunity to offer that to them. And if they choose not to, it's okay. I could offer 1 or 2 conversations to help them through whatever they are currently seeing. And if they don't need any more, it's okay. But at the end of those 2 conversations, because I am a professional business coach, I will offer and ask them, hey, do you want to know what it looks like to work professionally with me together? Because one thing that I will tell you, it is well, and you guys know, paying money for something commits people. It's, you guys know, there could be a fitness gym in my apartment building. I did not go into it once. Did I go out and paid for membership at the gym? Yes. How many times did I show up? A lot more than to the free one in my building. So money commits people, guys. Whether you want to begin with a $25 session, and that is something that you and I could continue talking about, because on my 4th topic, it's a topic about proposing. What am I proposing into the world? What is my fee? What are my packages? Because if I see that I'm noticing that a lot of groups are coming into my calls, hey, even on that meetup, can I test something new? Can I see I've got 3 spots available for this Scrum Master Agile coaching to go over the topics of how to, what to, and whatever. I don't know what you teach, right? And what you help people with. And it's gonna cost $25. Who's in? And now you're seeing who's in. And now you're actually monetizing on this. Because now you're seeing that people are asking. You could also get testimonials for those from those 3 people that have gotten through your program and actually have help because your expertise helped them out. You see, that is how we begin. Our coaching renews through referrals and renewals. I remember 5 years ago when I began working and when I started to see the money coming in and the clients coming in. And then I recognized, okay, how much time do I have on my calendar? Because I see that my calendar is filling in and I'm becoming really busy. Like people are knocking on the door. I go, okay, it's time to raise my fees. And for the 5 years, I've raised them 5 times now. Originally, I started from $25. And you
Thank you. That makes sense. That makes
yeah,
sense.
what landed for you?
In this role,
No.
yeah. So then,
Like, what did you hear? What are your takeaways?
yeah. So my takeaways are, first of all, make sure how much you are available for that free service. Build up a rapport. Try to create networking at first stage, but then later on, look after your own availability as well, because once you try to grow yourself, think about yourself also based on your availability, and then enhance your fees. Don't right off jump on, don't start with small, don't jump on big values at the initial stage, and slowly grow. That is what I took away.
That's it.
And that is based on how many clients you are getting, how much time you have on your calendar, and how you would like to proceed further.
That's it. Tread slowly. That's what I could tell you, because now you're going to see what's coming in, how much exactly, where am I, what are my availabilities? Do I actually like what I do? Because a lot of coaches that I work with, unfortunately, they what ends up happening that they come to me and they say, Irina, I give and give and give and give until I cannot give no more. And that is because at the end of the day, guys, as simple as it is, how do I feed my dog? Do I want to make money in this coaching career? And that's it.
Yeah, and Irina, sorry to interrupt you, but I think Frederica was having her hand up and
I was just
she
gonna ask Jeff.
brought it
Yes,
down.
yes, Jeff. Do you mind if I ask Frederica because I saw her hand up?
Oh, no, of course. Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Frederica, you had your hand up and then you put it down.
I did. Well, because sometimes the conversation goes as such as something's answered, right? You have a question. I just wanted to say thank you, first of all, for everything that's being shared today. It's really nice to be on this call. I'm just kind of getting back into a coaching community. I've sort of been playing a lone wolf for a very long time. I do work full time, so my coaching is a side passion. And I've just been sort of really taking in what everybody's been saying, and it's sort of that fog of discerning who to invite. And then Irina, you sort of elaborated on, just really listening in on social environments. I think, and I really appreciated Sruchi's question and sort of this sort of momentum building that sort of came out of that. But there's also this discomfort between having some conversations with people, which I do a lot, and we as coaches want to see positive shifts when others are struggling with something. And that's always, quite an exhilaration well, if I speak for myself, but there's a discomfort between how you transition from those couple of conversations into then, if they wanted to continue, well, now I'm going to charge you. So, and that's sort of my realm where I will tend to just continue the conversations without charge. And I think that's, it's about possibility, not about affordability. I really love that statement. I really listened to Jeff and the humanness of vulnerability, but there is still a discomfort about charging. And I think that's where I'm feeling a bit stuck in that invitation.
Can you tell me what's coming up when you say there's this discomfort in charging? What is really coming up for you when you're afraid of, because I know what it was for me. I just want to hear, and I'll share it in a second. What do you really feel?
Yeah, well, I feel that there's sort of an imposition on not really knowing someone's financial situation, but also there's also a fear of rejection.
You got it.
Right? The
Got
no,
it.
I can't afford it. No,
Yeah.
great. Thanks for, yeah.
You got it. And it was mine, and I think 8 billion people out there in the world. There was that fear of rejection. What is it going to happen what's going to happen to me? Because I'm going to go into my psyche and I'm going to be all, why did they say no? I wish I could have been working with them. for God knows how long, as long as I'm out there creating the difference in their life. And Frederica, you can. You definitely can. What began happening for me, that when I recognized that I served and I served and I gave and I gave, I began to feel a bit of a resentment towards my clients, because then, I was like, oh yeah, another phone call. Do I really want to? Do I not? And when I noticed that, I recognized that it wasn't serving me, because in this beautiful service game, guys, we are a part of that um, formula as our clients. Yes, we are out there serving our clients to the best of our abilities, but who is serving me? And it is our own responsibility, because if I'm noticing that I'm out there serving, I could really agree with myself, and at the beginning, guys, for me, it was 4 conversations, because after those 4 conversations, I then felt very comfortable, uh, saying, "Hey, how did you enjoy these conversations? Would you like to continue in a professional environment? Because I could tell you what it could look like." And you see that, and what I could also do is that I would tell them ahead of time, and it is totally okay if you don't right now. I loved how coachable you are. And I love the relationship we got to create. And if at this moment, for whatever reason, you're not ready to continue our conversations on the professional level, committed level, then it's okay. Because you see, where I began to notice that I am running a professional business. I'm not running some, non-for-profit, or, let's do this. No. And what I have noticed, that it wasn't about me being rejected. It was never about me. It was my attention on them, on what was happening in their world, on the shifts that they were ready to make. It wasn't my expectation of what had to have happened, because at the beginning, I was waiting for those insights. I was waiting for those things, that, oh, so now they see it. Now they have an insight. Now I could tell them, well, if you want more, and that felt really sleek. That felt salesy and kind of, and needy. It felt needy. And what I want to walk away from is being needy, because I don't want them working with me. I can offer, I will be willing to offer an opportunity of changing their life together. And if they're up for that journey, amazing. If they're not ready, it's not about me. It's never about me or the value that I bring or them appreciating my time. It's about whatever they currently are in their journey. And if they're not ready, that is totally okay. And I could set them off, and I could put their name into my Excel sheet. Not yet clients. There's never a no. There's always not yet. And that is the kind of Excel spreadsheet that I run, because every now and then, because of the relationship that I was able to build with them over 3, 4, 5 conversations, I could come across an article or podcast, and I'd send them and I'd say, hey, this made me think of you. Listen to it. And if you're willing, share with me, what have you heard? Because now I continue to be in that person's life, servicing without a need, but because I am genuinely curious about them. I'm curious about How's it going for them? I'm supporting them on that issue that they brought in, I don't know, a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Because, guys, based on this, I have clients that are returning after 3 years, 4 years, 1 year, 6 months, because back then they weren't ready. And whatever their story was, whether it was money or their partner not approving or what have you, it's usually a story. Excuse me. And you will notice that. Frederica, did that answer like your question?
Yeah, that's beautiful, Irina. I really like where you were going and where you've gone with that. Absolutely. And some, just some takeaway gems is that, constant relationship building. It's not just a one-off, I love the part about, deserving to make an offer,
Yeah.
and not feeling needy about it, or so that's great. Also just, yeah, acknowledging our deserving, because this is something that we're doing to serve and, to have a bit of a business model around as well. So yeah, thank you. And finding the language around it. I think that's a big piece, is finding the language around all of those pieces of the invitation. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was great.
I'm noticing, you're welcome, Frederica. I'm noticing, Saruchi, I agree with Frederica's feeling to some level. I feel like that, yeah, they feel that I want to share the knowledge because I want to earn money. Yeah, yeah, it was like that for me too. I'm not scared of failure or rejection, but I don't like to appear, yeah, as a selfish person. Exactly. You see, I had all of that too, until I recognized that if I am of service to myself, really, because I want to ask myself, how many conversations do I want to have with this person? That would be enough for them to, because you see, guys, we can never know what process, and what are they taking away and what value they are creating from these conversations with us. We can never know. So if I can never know,
So Irina, sorry to interrupt you, but quick question that comes up through that. For example, there are two clients which are really good and they are getting benefit out of my coaching. I mean, they are getting monetary benefit because they are able to keep up with their new Scrum Master roles, which they are not aware of. This is how you have to tackle. Then my question is, I have already coached them for 3 months. Okay, 3 months on weekly basis or one session per 8 days. Okay, and they are bringing in their issues. I am providing guidance. So what do you think, after how many months I can offer them the professional coaching rather than this free coaching? Because it's already been 3 months. I don't feel like, I'm not saying that I want to earn money, but I want to get guidance from you. What could be a right time
you
to,
see, I would have offered it
yeah,
up
let,
in conversations.
sorry,
I
sorry,
would have offered
I
coaching.
missed.
Yeah, I would have offered professional coaching after 2 conversations. I'm I'm in love with the service that you provide to people. You have been in these people's life over 3 months on weekly basis. I honor you. Like, wow, that is absolutely amazing. You see, I would have offered to work professionally after 2 or 3 conversations, especially when I'm noticing that people are coming back and people are asking for more. Now,
No, the problem is here. Sorry to interrupt you again. The problem is here that I have not professionally worked as an agile coach in corporate life. So I hesitate. I mean, Suruchi, you never worked as an agile coach. You are informally helping us. Then, I mean, they are not saying that, but this is something going on in my mind. You are not a full-fledged established agile coach. You are a scrum master. Then how can you charge us? What if they would say that?
and we don't know what they would say unless we ask, unless we try, you see? Because you could offer, here's what you know what, and this is an example that I would do probably. I would say, we have worked together for 3 months, and I've noticed the differences, and I've noticed how much you have been enjoying these lessons. And here's what I am willing to offer. I'm not asking you, I'm not begging you to become my client. I'm saying, here's what I'm willing to offer. You have experienced coaching with me over 3 months. And if you would like to continue, this is what it's going to look like. We will meet every, I don't know, and you have to slow down and think, how much time do I have? How many people would I like in the group? Do I want one-on-one clients? I want to slow down and be prepared in my offering, because when the person actually, instead of my thinking and my mind going crazy, well, who are you to offer that? You don't have coach certification. No, it's all our mind. It's the story, and your awareness, Suruchi, is amazing, because yeah, it wasn't the clients saying that to you, it was your mind, it was the negativity, right? So now I get to test this out. I get to ask my clients if they want to continue, because this is what I would be willing to offer to them. One conversation a week, or, a program for a month. And if we get 3 people, 3 coaches, this is what it's going to cost you. I don't know, $100, $150. You can create, or you see that one person is particularly eager. You say, hey, I've noticed that you've been really creating, and moving towards what you see in our conversations. Would you like to continue a one-on-one relationship? Because this is what I would be willing to offer. And guys, watch the language here. Willing to offer. I'm not needing you as a client. I'm not afraid that if you say no, you're going to disappear, or something's going to happen to me, because there's going to come more, because I'm noticing how much my business is taking off. So what are you hearing, Suruchi? What are you taking away?
So my takeaways are, don't let the thought process in your mind or doubts about yourself in your mind stop yourself to offer professional coaching.
Yeah, because
Those are just thoughts in my mind, and they may say, right now you would be surprised, they are already spreading word on LinkedIn, like Suruchi is like this, that I'm pretty cool about this, but they are willing to do that for me. But I think that they like me as a coach, and that there is no monetary returns that they need to give, so they are doing it as a good human being. But I will definitely think about it, and I will offer that, because now I have gained some support from your coaching experience, that how to offer that, and it's an offer, it's not
I
the
would
way. And
I would invite you
my question,
to set
yeah,
your thinking aside. Whenever you're seeing that it's your thinking, begin to question your thoughts. Guys, I'm seeing that it is 2 p.m. We are at the top of the hour. I am willing to go 10 more minutes. And if you guys are okay with that, we could. I do want to, Suruchi, before you get to ask a question, I do want to share with you um, the Facebook group, because I
Yeah,
believe.
and just so you know, I have to go, Irina.
Oh, okay.
But thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is great. Thanks, guys. This is an amazing discussion, and I will see you soon
In March.
in March.
Or in
see
March
you,
on the
bye Jeff.
call, or yeah. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for participating.
All right, bye, everybody. Have a
Yeah.
nice weekend.
So, guys, what I want to say, I want to share with you a Facebook group where the one that I run, where I share a lot of stuff. I share a lot on how to create clients. And if you guys are curious, do sign up. Let me get the link over. Hold on. Copy the link. Do sign up and just follow, see what you could take away for yourself. And you see, I love an interaction with my clients. I love, an interaction with my prospects. And I love to support people, support coaches in that realm by serving, by sharing what I have learned. One thing, guys, I strongly suggest you get this book, How to Get Clients by Steve Chandler. It's a fairly inexpensive book. I think it's like $13 on Amazon. How to Get Clients by Steve Chandler, because when he retired, he put this book out, and it is really everything and anything in what you would need to get clients, to get started, to continue. He shares everything. And one of the things he shares is, how do we get clients? Begin with who you know. Because you see, I remember all the groups that I've signed up and all the programs that I have been a part of, they always taught me, to reach out, to make these cold calls, to reach out to companies, to do this, to do that. And what Steve had introduced me when I began working with him, and the programs that I've taken with him, begin with your circle of friends, accountants, hairdressers, people that you know, and begin helping them out. Begin to notice, what are they listening to? I mean, what are they sharing with you? Because I have a beautiful hairdresser, and she's been going through, breakups with her partners, and she's been widowed 2 times. And when I finally invited her to a conversation, because it was 1 time, 2 time, no, Irene, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. She's been my hairdresser and I've been her client for over 8 years. This year, she became my client. And now she's introducing her daughters to me. Because, guys, this is how this business is going to work. It's based on relationships. It's based on referrals. From these 1, 2, 3 conversations, even if the person going to say, no, I'm not ready to work with you on a professional level and pay whatever programs, or then they could walk away and share with a friend of theirs, hey, I had this life-changing experience with this person. If you want to talk, she or he is offering 1, 2 conversations at no charge. Come, talk. Because that is what happens. People refer. I gotta be honest with you, when I recognized this, when I realized that these conversations of service help others, and in turn, because people like to help each other, they actually, when they're talking to their friend or their relatives, they can suggest coming and talking to you. And was I a victim of a marketing scheme at the beginning? 100%. 7 years ago when I started, yeah, it was this, oh, come, you could make uh, six or multiple six figures through funnels, through social media, through all the rest of it. I signed up. Did I get results that I wanted? No, it was a scheme. And when I recognized that, I was like, no, that's not the service I want to provide to people. I don't want them feeling like I need them for anything. So guys, do sign up. If you do want to have more questions, if you have more questions, if whatever part of this conversation made sense to you and you want to hear a little bit more in one-on-one conversation with me, do that. Reach out. Reach out to me. I am offering 1 or 2 conversations to people. No strings, nothing attached. So I'm going to share with you my email. Reach out if you want to continue. I'm here, iconiccoach@gmail.com. And put a subject line I want to talk more about my coaching practice or whatever it is. And we will get on the call and we will have one-on-one, no strings. It could be one, it could be two. And that's it. You don't have to continue. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do because I've got the time for that. And so do you guys. Because if you are willing and wanting to build your prosperous practice, you can. I did it. And at the beginning, I had a lot of naysayers. A lot. Suruchi, what was the question that you wanted to ask?
No, there was no additional question
Oh,
in my mind. I just wanted to appreciate your extra time, like 10 minutes extra that you offered. And I found this insightful. At the same time, gave me a little bit confidence because I'm extremely new in this coaching world. But that doesn't mean that I have not done coaching. I have done coaching and by wearing different hats. So basically, I found myself coaching a lot of time without getting paid for it, and it's been multiple years I'm doing it. So now I think I'm reaching to the point where I say that you deserve this, Ruchi. You have done this so many years. Why can't you offer something to others? If you don't ask, you will not get anything and you will just keep giving, giving and giving. So
like my beautiful
thank you
coach.
for,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing the similar kind of thoughts that gave me a little bit cushioning.
Yeah.
But I will not rush for it. I will again introspect on that
Slow
and handle
down.
it gently for my clients because that's my motive. Scrum and all those things, those are my passions. I don't want to lose them. I'm not doing, I love to be a coach because I love the topic I talk about. So there are very good takeaways and support basically. I received support from you that
You're
my
welcome.
thought process is not too much wrong. So
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
As my mentor, Steve Chandler, says, and this beautiful man has turned 82 years old, and he has a story. Oh, guys, if you could begin, if you could look, like his story fascinated me. That's why I reached out. I actually was bold enough to reach out to him via Facebook. And that's how I went into his world. And I remember one of the things that Steve shared right at the beginning when I was new and scared, and I thought, I had to have self-esteem and courage and confidence. And Steve has shared something. He goes, Irina, how many answers do you get to a question that hasn't been asked? Zero. How many answers do you get to a question that has been asked? Three. Yes, no, and maybe. So guys, this is it. This is it. And another thing that he introduced me to, he goes, Irina, confidence is not a requirement, is a result of action. Because guys, I never used to be this, know-it-all coach, this confident coach. If you would take a look at me 7 years ago, oh God, I was afraid to ask a person to have a conversation with me. And as I told you at the beginning of this call, we're not going to do it without fear. We're going to do it through fear, supporting one another. So, guys, if you want to know more, if you want that one-on-one, do reach out. If you don't, come in, see another meetup. There's going to be something in March. I have to slow down. I have to look at the date that is available, but I usually like Fridays, and this is, 1 p.m. works for me. So look for it. I'm looking forward to seeing you again, and it was blessing to meet you. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, Irina. Wonderful call. Bye, Suruchi.
Bye.
Thank you
Bye,
so much.
Frederica. Bye.
Bye.